How you doing, everyone? And welcome back to another edition of FSI's PGA DFS picks. I am your host, TK Nation 47, bringing to you the weekend and Showdown Round 3 picks for the DraftKings slate. All right, the Memorial Tournament. Didn't get a chance to do a Round 2 video because of the weather delay that we experienced in Round 1. There was just not enough time, not enough data, and unbelievably, there was not enough time to fill out lineups. If you were not paying attention, the DraftKings did not hold back on lineup lock, and pretty frustrating, honestly. We didn't know how the golfers did at the end of their round. We were just kind of flying solo, flying blind, if you will, on what to do, who to play. Only half the golfers had finished their round. It was kind of a mess. I thought they would delay the slate and at least push it back, but they didn't. And then all of a sudden, once they got tee times, here comes the late slate at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So pretty frustrating, hard to follow, and tough to do content with. But now that we had gotten through most of round 2, and we have what is probably a better idea of what the cut line will be, who will probably be making the cut, we can talk a little bit about who some good plays are for the weekend. So let's get into that, and we'll start doing this tier by tier. Real quick, if I can, please like this video, comment below if you have questions, and then there is always a Discord chat that we are talking about plays, or we're talking about cuts, sweats, all kinds of fun stuff. Got a lot of guys in the chat talking. It's a good time every week, and I appreciate them, and I appreciate you listening. So let's get into picks. All right, 10-5, we have Colin Morikawa sitting in 8th place. He is gaining 4.2 on the approach, 5.8 ball striking, but he's losing over a stroke on the putting surface. This seems to be the case for Mr. Morikawa, and I'm afraid that's going to hold him back for the weekend. But I still think he's a fairly good play because this is a second shot course, and he is top 5 in the field in strokes gained approach, leading to be a very good play. So Colin Morikawa, I would consider to be a very good play. He probably is going to miss a few birdie opportunities, and he might bogey a couple of holes, but I like his consistency with the irons, and I feel like it is a strong play. Jon Rahm, next up at 10-3, seems to just love this course. This is just Jon Rahm's jam. Looking like he might go back-to-back here at the Memorial Tournament. Balanced all the way through. 3.5 on the putting green certainly helps, but he is 6.2 tee to green and 9.7 total. Jon Rahm, probably the chalk stud of the slate at 10-3. Just playing lights out, and loves it around here. Defending champ. I think it's all systems go on Jon Rahm. Next up, we have 10-1 and Jordan Spieth. A wacky first round, but he played a lot of it during some pretty bad weather conditions, but he seemingly got better as he went on in the second round when he played under some decent weather conditions. So I do like him. I think he could kind of pick it up. He's out of the groove of the weather, delays back and forth. I could see how that kind of threw him off, but he had a long time to rest after his second round. So I think he's going to be coming in fresh while other guys have been waiting around all day to play. They're going to be in the middle of that start-stop ideal that the guys that teed off in the afternoon yesterday went through. So I like Spieth as a contrarian GPP pick. Next up, we have Justin Thomas sitting 21st. Much of the same for him as well, gaining 5.4 on the approach, but he's losing 3.6 on the putting greens. Best ball striker in the field by far right now. That just tells me I'm going to keep continuing to roster Justin Thomas. Anytime you get a guy hitting the ball that well, there is no reason to fade him. The putts will drop, the birdies will be there. And then when he puts it all together, it's a super low round. I do like Xander Schauffele as well. He is gaining 7 strokes tee to green. So firing up Xander as well. The top 5 guys, it's hard to argue about any of them. So maybe we can find some value that will play and we'll mix and match the top range. That seems to be the case so far rolling through these builds. I'm going to fade Bryson DeChambeau. But certainly if he figures out the driver, he can maybe make his way through the course well. Patrick Cantlay, another guy, talk of the week, 3.5 on the approach, 7 strokes tee to green. Certainly a gem of a play at 9,400. You get a little bit of a discount from some of them studs. I think he's going to be a core play. I think he's going to be a pretty popular one at that as well. Hovland's a sneaky play, 3 strokes on the approach, -2 on the putting green. It seems to be, these young ball strikers' mantra is, everything but the flat stick. I don't mind it. Probably gonna be lightweight to the field. No Rory for me. Yes to Finau. He's been around the green masterpiece lately. Maybe he can get it done. I'm not sure, but I don't mind Tony Finau as well, gaining 3.3 strokes on the approach. Charlie Hoffman's not really hitting the ball as well as he has been lately. That gives me a little bit of cause of concern because he's not the strongest putter in the field, and now he's up to 9K. That's just a little too steep for me for a guy that's not hitting as well as he usually can. So off on Hoffman. I do like Hideki, previous winner on this course, 2.4 on the approach, 4.6 ball striking. The putter seems to be there for a little bit, so I like Hideki. Next up, Patrick Reed. Kind of an opposite day for him today. He gained 2.9 on the approach, but lost 1.9 putting. That's typically the other way around, where he's gaining 2.9 on the putting green and losing strokes on the approach. It's just how he is. But, it looks like Patrick Reed is in for a good weekend. No to Connor is just not enough there. Hopefully he can hang on for a made cut. So it's just too risky. Louis kind of has been falling apart on the weekends lately, so that is a no for me. Scottie Scheffler and Ricky Fowler, pretty cheap plays. Maybe not the most consistent right now, but I think for their price tag, you're starting to get into that territory where you can play them. This is really cool to see Ricky Fowler start playing his way into some majors again. He's getting into form, and that's awesome to see. Big fan of Ricky Fowler. I got nothing bad to say about him. 2.4 around the green. He's kind of doing it the old way, and that's really cool to see. I hope, for golf's sake, Ricky continues to play well. Bezadenhout is doing it all with his putter. I think that's a fade. Homa looks like he's pretty dialed in with his approach and with the putter and with the flat stick, so I do like Max Homa. Burns is okay. Kyle Stanley chalk. I think a lot of people that are feeling comfortable with him as a 6,100 play are going to be playing him at any price tag this weekend. 76 is fairly cheap, so I don't mind it. But if he's going to be super popular, I might try to fade it just because it's a one round slate. So I might take my chances elsewhere with Chris Kirk at 1.6 on the approach, 2.9 on the putting green. I like Chris Kirk as my contrarian GPP play. Scrolling down here, I don't mind Carlos Ortiz or Aaron Wise. Brandon Grace, also a fairly good play with guys with ball striking the ball pretty well. Cabrera Bello is pretty inconsistent. I think I'm good with fading him and hoping that he reverts back to his previous form. Rosner was a play I was on pre-tournament. I think he's going to hold on for a made cut. 3.1 on the approach, 4.4 strokes ball striking, just losing some strokes off the tee and on the green. I don't mind that for a guy. Lucas Glover, another cheap play at 6,800. Bo Hogg, not a bad punt. And that will Jim Herman, I don't know. No on Herman, no on Herbert. All putting statistics. I don't think that's going to last. Zinzu Zhang is not a punt for me at 6K, although that's stupid cheap. I just don't believe in the form coming in, and I don't believe in the first 2 rounds. I think he could revert back to his old ways. So that will do it for the weekend in Showdown Round 3 plays. As always, like and comment below, and look forward to hopefully finishing rounds 2 and 3 tomorrow, and we just have round 4 Showdown to talk about tomorrow. And yeah, thank you for listening, and have a good night.